today's pattern, we're going to do the waffle wave stitch. If you don't like Bernat Blanket, I got enough information for you to switch this over to 4-ply medium weight yarn. Got the counts for you, and we're gonna get ourselves started. And if you are doing the Bernat Blanket version, this is like a palliative care width, and it's 60 inches long, so it's really quite nice and fun. And I did this in 3 evenings. Really quite a quick project to be able to do. Let's go to the studio desk and let's begin. So let's take a look at our pattern today, and this is a generic pattern for this concept, and this here is the waffle stitch wave. So it does a waffle chevron, as you'll see within the deep grooves of this particular one. If you don't like Bernat Blanket, as I said in the introduction, we have information that available to you to be able to switch the yarn. If you are doing the Bernat Blanket version, just like you see, 6 balls of Bernat Blanket ethereal stripes. That's the regular size of Bernat Blankets, the big balls, and you only need 6 of this. You should be aware though that this pattern is a yarn eater, so it does suck up a lot of yarn. So if you are going to substitute your yarn, be aware that you may need more yarn than you think. So it's using an 8mm size L crochet hook. So what we have here is that if we flip our pages, I provided a lot of information because I decided to do some research. If you'd like to do a medium 4-ply weight yarn, here's all the information of the chain counts that you can do, and I have it all worked out. So if it's a chevron, each one is 6 inches wide. That is the actual repeating of the pattern itself. So if you look at it from a chevron, so here to here is 6 inches. The chains when we start will be exceptionally long, and it's not until we actually do the chevron shape that it sucks it back. So your chain actually might be quite long, but once you do the chevron, it reduces. So you have this with the drape, without drape. With drape just means it's the hangover that goes over the top of the mattress, if you would like to do that, and drapes down the side of your mattress. And if you are doing the Bernat Blanket size with the hook size of the 8mm size L, each chevron is 9.5 inches wide. So we have our information of the abbreviations, and there is a lot of special stitches that are involved, but once I take you through today's video, once you understand this concept, it's a little bit hard to wrap your mind around it, but once you understand it, it's like just put your hook into the wind and let's go. So we have all of our written instructions. Okay, I'm going to be taking you through that today, step by step, and it's actually a pretty easy repeat. So it's a repeating of 3 to 8 rows, and I just stopped when I felt like it, so you don't really have to stop on a particular row if you don't want to, and that's something that you can decide. We also have a stitch key, and this is the actual for the abbreviation, or sorry, for the crochet diagrams, and it's just an up and down motion. This is the chevron here, so we're going to just go up and down. And to get ourselves started, I think that a single crochet was the best way to approach this, to have a nice solid beginning to your concept. And this here you can see is 4-ply medium weight yarn, which was my trials, and you can see I was working in the background to be able to make sure my pattern made sense. So we're going to begin today, and we do use video chapters. If you'd like to skip ahead and be able to do that, that's up to you, and you can use those to go back and forward in time. So at the end of the repeat, you can go back to the to the video chapters, click back to row number 3, and restart over and over until the cows come home. Let's begin your waffle stitch waves. To change the size of this pattern, regardless of what type of yarn it is, what type of hook, it's in multiples of 24 plus 2. So you will go 1 through 24, that's 1 chevron. 1 through 24 again, that's another chevron. So go and just do 24, 24, 24. And when you're happy with the width of it, or you believe that you're happy, just make sure that you add 2 more chains to it so that you have the balance to be able to get across properly. So with this particular one, with the Bernat Blanket, there is actually only 4 waves. So this is actually just 4 multiples of 24, then plus 2. So that's how that number is achieved. We're going to begin with our hook, and let's play. And for tutorial purposes, I'm using Bernat Maker yarn because I find it's very easy to teach with, and I'll try to take my time, but I'm pretty guilty for speeding ahead. So let's begin. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to assume that you're not a brand new crocheter. So I'm not going to start by showing you how to hold the hook and yarn. We do have tutorials available for that. We're going to create a slip knot to begin. And you can decide any size that you want. You can get the chain counts that were in that information. If you don't know where that is, go to the video description. You'll see pattern link, and it's also in the pinned comments on the actual comment thread of the tutorial as well. So I'm going to do 2 multiples of 24 and then add 2 for tutorial purposes. So you're just going to either chain 98 if you're using the Bernat Blanket, or just do multiples of 24. So with the slip knot on here, it does not count as one, and so you start then and count. So just count through 1 through 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So there is one multiple. So even though it's a flat chain of this, once you do the chevron shape, the chevron will actually go like this. Okay, so the edge won't be going down. And so you see it's not as much of a distance when you push this up. See what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you are crocheting enough of these chains to get that to go up and down. So do your multiples of 24, and then at the end we will do adding 2 chains for the balance. So please continue to chain the number that you're looking for. I'll be right back. I now have just 2 multiples of 24 so far, and this is where I'm going to stop with my particular sample, because I don't need to do continuing that all the way across, because I just need to show you how to do a repeat, in which this will cover. So once I have the width that I'm looking for, then I'm just going to add 2 more at the end. So it's multiples of 24 plus 2, and that will give the balance. So even though it's out like this right now, once you start manipulating it up and down, it'll get much more narrower, as you'll see in the future. Let's begin row number 1. I am going to slow down once it gets more complicated, but we're still in the basics of crochet at this moment. So we're going to go second chain from the hook. I prefer to grab the back hump of the chain. So you got the first one right here. This is number 2, and I like getting the back hump. If you don't want the back hump, then don't do it, right? So you're just going to do the back hump, and you're going to single crochet yourself in every chain all the way across. I thought this would be a good starting point for this particular concept. And now that I got the first back hump, the next one is up and ready to go. So it turns the chain upside down so that you have a perfect looking edge that will be at the base of your blanket. There is no border on this sample today. So you're going to single crochet yourself in the back hump of every chain all the way back across. And I will see you at the end of the row. We'll turn around, and then we'll really start playing with the fun stuff. At the end of the first row, we're just single crocheting. We don't see the pattern going up and down yet because we've not added or subtracted stitches to make the chevron or the wave happen. So we just have a straight shot across. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the diagram next to highlight something that I've done for you that's unique on the pattern. So for those that can read this kind of stuff, what I've done is that I've highlighted the ones in red that are standing out. And this here, row number 2, is actually the right side of the project. And when we go across row number 2, we are going to be then creating what appears to be the grooves that will happen. So on one row, we have the grooves that are continuing to go, and the other ones are just sitting within the regular stitches. But then on the next row, what we have is that we're using back posts or front posts, but I want to indicate with red on how these lines are kind of following up. So at a certain point, the lines will then pick up and start a new fresh batch of lines that continually just go outward. And so they eventually, if they start up over here, for example, eventually this line will then end up into a peak like this to give you that upside down V shape. So I did that for my own purposes, but I thought it might be helpful for you. And we're going to begin row number 2 and start the up and down motion. So let's take our time and do row number 2. So row number 2 is a setup row because we don't see the up and down yet, but we need to establish it so that when we start doing the repeats from 3 to 8, that you can see the lines, but right now we don't see it. So we're doing a setup row. We're going to begin by chaining 2. This will count as the first double crochet, but it's going to be the first double crochet that is a 2 together. So what we're doing is that if we tilt it like this, we're going to be going in the up formation on the edge. Okay, so we're not going down, we're going up. So what we need to do then is in the regular stitch, just double crochet the next. So the chain 2 plus this double crochet is going to act like a 2 together double crochet. So it's going to go up on a slope like this. So the next stitch is going to be then a front post double crochet. And see this right here? We're going to apply it there. So we're going to wrap the hook and coming through here and isolate just the one. So just coming in and out, just like that. And then wrap the hook and then pull through two, pull through two. So you're not going to really see it lifting up too much until row number 3, but we're getting ourselves established with this pattern. So let's carry on. The next 2 in a row, okay, so this counts as the stitch that it's sitting in. So the next 2 are right here, and they're going to be each then a double crochet into the regular stitch. Okay, the next one is now a front post double crochet, and it's around the very next one. So we wrap the hook first, going in through the side and back out the other side so the top is not touched. Wrap the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. So there is number 2 of 4 that we're going to need to before we get to the top of the peak. So this means that the next 2 have to be a double crochet in the regular stitches. The next one now is a front post double crochet yet again around the next stitch. There's a total of 4 of those before you get to the peak, if that helps you to see the repeating of this. So the next 2 right here are going to be each double crochet. So we have one that's front post, another one's front post, another one, so that's 3. So this is the 4th one going in around the next stitch. And now we're ready for the peak. Now the peak is always going to be the same, but how you do it is always going to be in the same, but it will be just in a different position. So because it's the setup row, the very next stitch is just going to use that, and you're going to double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the same stitch. And this creates the peak. And you're going to notice the project is going to start going in a down slope, then down the other side. Okay, so you got one front post, another, so there's my 4. So just remember that there was a front post right before the peak. So what we're doing now going down is doing exactly the opposite to what we just did. Okay, so if you look at these stitches and what you did, you're going to do the same thing going down. So the first one after the peak is a front post double crochet because that's what it is on this side. And then the next 2 stitches are double crochet into the regular stitches. Okay, so now those 2 are in. The next one is a front post double crochet around the next post. And then what would the next 2 be? Yeah, they're double crochets into the regular stitches. And now we're back to doing front post double crochet around the next stitch. This is the 3rd one of 4 that you're doing. Going down. The next 2, yeah, that's right, regular double crochet into the regular stitch. Okay, Okay, so we have from the peak right here, so we have one front post, another front post, another front post. This is your last front post that's going in the next one, and then the valley is the next piece of the puzzle here. Okay, so you make sure you can see it. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when you're doing a valley, it's going to span over 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So what you're doing is a 2 together stitch, and you are going to skip the middle one, so you're spanning over 3. So that's what 2 double crochet over 3 stitches means. It means that you're skipping the middle. So wrap the hook, going into the regular stitch, pull through 2 and hold it. Okay, don't finish. Skip the next stitch, going into your next one, do the same thing. So wrap the hook into the stitch, pull through 2 and hold it. And then yarn over, pull through all 3. So that was a 2 together over 3 stitches, so that the middle one's been skipped, so that it has space to be able to start going up the other side. So the repeating is just going to do exactly what this is going across. So let me take you up one more side and back down the next. And so if you look at how we finished this, we're doing exactly the opposite. So we had a front post double crochet before the valley. So the first one after must be a front post double crochet. And then there's 2 in a row that are double crochet in the regular stitch. Next one, front post double crochet. So you're looking for 4 of those to be completed. 1, 2. So the next 2 are a double crochet in the regular stitch. Next one is a front post double crochet. Okay, so if we're looking at the valley, we have 1, 2, 3. So we've got 2 more double crochets to go in the regular stitch. And then the 4th and final front post double crochet is around the next stitch before the peak. Okay, so I want to verify. I can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe harder for you to see on camera, but it's going to become very obvious in the next row. Okay, so now the next stitch right here is going to be your peak. So the peak will be a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the same one. And now you're going to come down. So remember, look at how you finished this. So it was a front post double crochet. So the first one must be a front post double crochet. So it's like a mirror. And then 2 in a row then is your double crochet. And then front post double crochet again. And then 2 in a row are double crochet. Front post double crochet again. And then the next 2 are regular double crochet. Because this is a setup row, I'm taking my time, even if I wasn't being watched on camera. So I have 1 front post, 2, 3, and this will be my 4th and final around the next post. And this will leave 2 stitches left over. These 2 stitches will become together as a 2 together double crochet, so you're going to use both of them. So wrap the hook and in, pull through 2 and hold it, and do the final one. And this allows the edging to go up vertical. Once you've collected both of them, yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, so now you have the up and down motion that's been created. It's going to be really kind of subtle at first. And then what's going to happen is that we're going to work our way back and forth. And in row number 3, we're going to get ourselves started. So the other side, Looks pretty innocent, but it's really going to change the way that it looks once we hit row number 3 and beyond. Let's turn our work and begin row number 3. We're now looking at the back of the project, and when we're looking at the back of the project, we're always going to use a front post or back post, except for the very pieces right here. Okay, so except for the tops right here. So when we go to start row number 3, we're going to chain 2. And so the very next stitch is right here. Okay, this is 2 together, so see how it's coming into 1. So this is that one there. So your next stitch to bring it together is right here, and this is around a front post when we were back on the other side. And so we want to keep that post on the opposite side of the work. We want to keep it popping out. So what we need to do is to make that a back post double crochet this time. So wrap the hook, come from back, and come in between the posts and just isolate it. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and 2. So with the chaining of 2 and the back post double crochet, that's the equivalent of 1 stitch. And that will keep this vertical. So everything was in sets of 2, if you recall, right? But because we're on the back of it, these 2 here have to be made as a front post double crochet. So the grooves that we're keeping are always going to be on the opposite side, but because we're looking at the back, the ones that were in the regular stitches, we're going to keep them as a back post. Sorry, we're going to keep them as a front post on this row. So the next 2 are front post double crochet. Now the next one here is a back post double crochet. So if you look at it, we're just going to continue to make that as a back post. And so it's this row that really makes it separate from each other. Okay, so these 2 have to be a front post. And then the next one is a back post. So what we're looking for is the peak and keeping an eye on that. So the next 2 has to be a front post double crochet. The next one, you can see that it's on the post work, so keep that as a back post double crochet. So the next one is going to be a front post double crochet before the peak. It's just going to be by itself because there's not 2 of them side by side. And now you're ready for the peak. So the peak right here is going to be a double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, and then double crochet again. So that'll always be true going forward. And so what we are going to look for is when we start to go down, it's a mirror of what we just did coming across. So the next one here, see how it's around the front post? This one has to be around the front post. And you can see how this one's tucked in behind, so that's going to be a back post double crochet. So it's going to be a front post, and this one has to be a back post. And now you're in the sets of 2 again like you were before. So the next 2 have to be a front post double crochet. And the next one, see how it looks odd? That one has to be a back post double crochet. If you want to take a look at this, is what it looks like on the other side. So this is the good side of the work. This is the waffling that is happening. Okay, so the waffle happens when you're using these front posts on the back side of the work. So we got these 2, they have to be a front post double crochet. Next one has to be a back post. And what I'm looking for is the valley, so the two together at the valley. So the next two here are a front post double crochet, and this is the two together, so I still have one left. So this one here and this one here has to become as a two together, so we're just ignoring the two together right here. That's just the middle stitch. Remember how we said two together over 3 stitches? It's two together over 3 stitches, so it's this one, and we're skipping over the middle. But because this here is on the back post that you see right here, we have to keep that as a back post. Okay, so we're going to wrap the hook, come around the back post, pull through 2 and hold it. Don't finish it and just jump over the middle one, and then come to this one here and do that as a back post double crochet. So just pull through 2 and hold it, and once you see all 3, pull through everything. And so the 2 back post double crochet just became 1. So this is the top of a V shape. And now we start working up again. So then we look at this side, what did we do? We can see that the next 2 here, they're going to be a front post double crochet. And everything is kind of in sets of 2. And the only time it changes is at the very base and the very tops. They might slightly change a bit, and that's why there's a repeating of rows 3 through 8. Next one is a back post double crochet. The next 2, front post double crochet. Next one is a back post double crochet. And then the next 2, front post double crochet. And the next one here is a back post double crochet. So a little tip I can leave with you is if you feel like you're going off, you just got to look at what the other peak was that you did. So we had the stitch work, so we're here in the back post right now. The next one is a front post before the peak. So you can look at the other ones that you've already passed if you're ever questioning your life. Now in the chain 1 space, we're making a peak, so it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And now we're going to come down. So you're just repeating this pattern all the way across. So see what we did here. This is a front post. This one must be a front post. It's a mirror. See how this one looks pushed back? That has to be a back post double crochet to keep the lines moving. Okay, so now everything's back in sets of 2 again. So these 2 are a front post double crochet. The next one here, see how it looks weird? That has to be a back post double crochet to keep the lines on the other side going up. These 2, front post double crochet. Next one, it's a back post double crochet. And what I'm primarily looking for is that when I get to the very end of a row, I'm looking to what I need to do. So if it's a middle, you just do what you did within the last one. And if you're ready for the end, we're going to be doing that next. So the next 2 here is a front post double crochet. And how many stitches do I have left? I have only 2. So this is going to be a special ending. Okay, so we have to do a back post double crochet, a partial one around this next one. So we're coming in, pull through 2 and hold it. Do not finish that stitch. And then come into the top. These 2 are sharing the same top. So you're just going to wrap the hook going into the top, pull through 2 and hold it, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. So the one leg is using the back post and the other one's using the regular stitch work on the end. And when you turn your work, you're going to see that the waffle stitch has suddenly appeared on the other side. We're now moving on to row number 4 next. As we progress to number 4, you're going to notice that these lines will then start trailing outward, okay? And these ones will travel inward. So we have to just keep an eye on those lines. When we're on the front side of the work, this is much easier to see. And you can actually blaze through the front side pretty quickly. And so when you start, you're going to chain 2. And you have to look at what the next stitch is. So if the next stitch looks like it's in a back post right now, you're just going to treat the regular stitch like you did before. Okay, just into the regular stitch. So yarning over into the next stitch and just double crochet. So with the chaining of 2 and this double crochet, it's considered a together stitch. Okay, it's the beginning double crochet 2 together stitch. So the next stitch, you see how it's not on a post that is on the front side of the work, it's on the back post. It's just a double crochet in the regular stitch. This keeps the indentation inward. See how this is jumping out towards you? You're going to want to keep that as a front post double crochet. So keep that as a front post double crochet to keep the lines moving. So see how it's tucked in behind? Use the regular stitch work and a double crochet in each. So you're just essentially looking for the lines. This one's jumping out towards you. Continue to make it a front post double crochet to keep that jumping. Then the next 2 are double crochet in the regular stitches to keep it sunken back. Front post double crochet. And how many stitches do we have left before we hit the peak? 2. So each one of these 2 are going to be a regular double crochet. It's not always like that on a peak, but it is for row number 4. So now you're going to do your peak, what you already know it to be. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And now we come down the opposite side. So do you see how there's 2 in the regular stitches? So you're going to see that there's 2 that will be in the regular stitches, and then this one's jumping out towards you. It's a mirror. So just treat the first 2 as a regular double crochet. And then this one's jumping out towards you, so that make that as a front post double crochet. So the other ones are sunken back, make them as a regular double crochet in the regular stitch. Just sink it backward. Front post and regular. So what I'm primarily looking for is the middle here and keeping an eye on that. So this one's the front post. And so I will take a mental note. So these 2 together is this stitch here. So we're just going to jump over that. So we're going to use the stitch before and the stitch after it to put it 2 together. So you can see I still have another stitch before I do that. So we're going to do a regular double crochet in the next one. And then we're going to do a double crochet 2 together over the next 3 stitches, which means that we're skipping the middle one. So begin the 2 together with the next stitch. Pull through 2 and hold it. Skip the middle and go to this one here. So we're choosing the double crochet in regular stitches because it's already sitting in the background. And yarning over, pulling it through all 3. And then the next one should be a mirror of this one. So if it was in a regular stitch, this one should be in a regular stitch, and we can see its position that that's true. And now this one's jumping towards you. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stay quiet. Then for most of the rest of the row with you, I'll just go as slow as I can. Okay, and this is in the regular stitches. coming up to the peak. Then first 2 before the peak is just in a regular double crochet. And then the peak is what you already know it to be. So it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the chain 1 peak space. And then use the mirror on going down. So you're repeating this all the way across. You see how much easier it is on the front side of the work. You just see the lines and you just respond to it to keep those groove lines moving upward. And I'm paying attention to the very end. So I got 3 stitches left, 1, 2, and then these 2 are together as 1. So I'm paying attention to what it's showing me. So this one has to be a regular double crochet. And then the next 2 are just going to be a 2 together in the regular stitches. And if you're not sure, you can look back at the very beginning of the row and determine that's what you did, and it's just a mirror opposite. Okay. So this line officially ran out, just like you see, and then this line is going to come up, and then eventually it'll run off the edge as well. And so you can see from the middle it's growing outward, and eventually in the next row we're going to start creating a new set of lines that will appear. And so as lines are just appearing into itself, lines are expanding out from the peaks. Let's turn our work and do row number 5. As we start row number 5, you see it looks very different on the back than it does the front. So, but now you're going to be able to see the pairs of the lines. So when you need to keep it as a front post or a back post, it's going to be very obvious now. And so it gets even easier to be able to see. As you start row number 5, we're going to chain 2. And we look to what the next stitch is. Okay, and the next stitch here is right here. See how this one's sunken back? This one we want to keep the grooves going up on the other side, so this has to be a back post, but the other ones have to be a front post. So this is 2 together, it's coming out of there. Your next stitch is right here, and that's going to be a front post double crochet. So with the chaining 2 and this front post double crochet, that acts as 1 stitch. So if it's sunken back, you want to keep it sunk back by doing a back post double crochet around the next stitch. That'll keep the groove lines going on the front side of the work. Now the next 2, see how they're in pairs? Those are going to be front post double crochets to keep it on this side of the work. So it keeps it sunk. And when you turn it over, you can kind of see it creates these lines right here. Okay, so let's keep moving. So this one here is on a back post, so we want to keep, it looks like it's on a back post, we want to keep it on a back post. And then these 2 we want to keep in the front, so front post. Okay, see how it's sunk, back post. Okay, the next 2 are front post. So you notice that there was actually 3 stitches before the peak. So these have to be a front post double crochet. And you have 1 more stitch that's left over before the peak. This has to be the new back post. So this is a new set of lines that are being created that is going to jet outward from the peaks. So keep this as a back post, and this now becomes a new line that will trail out from the middle, just like I did here. Do your peaks like you already know it. It's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. This here is going to be a back post double crochet. So just look at it to what you did before you hit the peak and do exactly the opposite, like in a mirror. So this was the back post, this has to be a back post. And now the next 2 are each a front post double crochet. See how it's jet back? Keep that as a back post double crochet. And the next 2 must be front post. Back post. And then 2 front posts. So you can whip up and down these chevrons pretty quickly. You're just looking for the middle. So there's the middle. So you're going to be using the one on either side. So you have another stitch to do before you get there. So this will be a back post. And now you're here. So you got 3 stitches, you got this one, you're gonna skip this one and go this one. So because we're in the back of the project for this row, we need to make these as a front post double crochet 2 together. So we're gonna use this one and then this one, skipping over the middle. So wrap the hook, going around the front post, pull through 2 and hold it, don't finish. Skip the middle one, go to your next. So wrap the hook and in, pull through 2 and hold it. Yarning over, pulling it through all 3. And so this will keep it then sunken down. So look at your next one. It's exactly the opposite, like a mirror. See right here? So this has to be a back post double crochet, and you're going to start climbing up the peak. And then the next 2 have to be a front post. So I'm going to just stay quiet for a bit and work my way across. Okay, so we're coming to the peak. So I got 3 before the peak, so the first 2 have to be a front post double crochet. And if you're not sure what to do with the peak or you need to verify, look at the last peak you did and see what you did. So we got 2 in a row that are front posts. This one has to be a back post before we get to the peak. And this is creating a new set of lines. And now the peak is what you already know it to be. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then you're just gonna rip yourself down. Okay, and then the end happens to be a hit, but you're just gonna go up and down until you're near the end. So just look at what you did before the peak to verify if you don't already see what you need to do. Make that as a back post, and then you got your sets of 2 all over again. So front posts for 2. Back post. Front post for 2. So the opposite side, the other side, is not an ugly looking pattern. It's just, it's completely different on the front side. So this is a back post. So we want to keep it like that way. 2 front posts in a row. Okay, and how many stitches do we have left? These 2 are counted as 1. So we got 3 stitches left over. So we're going to keep this as a back post. And so your very ending one then is going to be a front post double crochet that is shared with the regular stitch here at the end. So just wrap the hook going into your front post, pull through 2 and hold it, don't finish. And just use the top of the regular stitch for your last one. So wrap and in, pull through 2 and hold, and then you're wrapping and pulling through all 3 loops. And so that finishes it up. And so when you're looking at the other side, completely the opposite, isn't it? So we're now going to move on to row number 6. So row number 6, as we're starting, you can see that we created a new V shape that's going to be crawling outward. okay, and just like that. And this next row, what's going to happen is that these are going to end just like it did here into a V shape. So we're going to begin row number 6 and start. So we're going to chain 2, and we look to what the next stitch is. So these two are together, so this is considered 1. So the next one right here, so we want to keep those grooves going upward, so this has to be a front post double crochet to make that happen. So with the chain 2 and that front post double crochet, that's considered 1 stitch on the end. Now we look to what is already here, and because we're now moving further into this project, you're going to really see the stitch work. So these have to be double crochets into the regular stitches. So when we're on the front side of the work, if it's not a raised groove, it's just a double crochet into the regular stitch. This is raised, so that's a front post double crochet. So these are those red lines that were in the diagram. So regular double crochet for the next 2. Front post double crochet to keep the lines moving up. Doubles into the next regular stitches, the 2 of them. And this here is front post double crochet to keep that line moving. And now it's going to be even more obvious now, isn't it? That you can really see it now. And so you still have 1 more stitch to do before the peak. And so it'll be a double crochet into the regular stitch before the peak. Peak is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And again, we're just going to do a mirror of what we just did. So the first one is a double crochet into the regular, because we did that before we hit the peak, and that's what the pattern's calling for. And this is jumping out towards you, so make that as a front post double crochet. So it doubles into the next 2. Front post double crochet around the next. Doubles into the next 2. Front post. Now we're looking to what is at the very base here. Okay. Okay, so we're looking at the stitches. Take your time. And here's the 3 middle. So you got 1 post here, another post here, and this is the middle, so we're going to skip that one. So to do this one, to keep those lines going, because we're on the back right now, we need to, like we're on the regular stitch work, these 2 must be a front post, double crochet 2 together. So wrap it, come around the front post, pull through 2 and hold it, don't finish, and then jump the middle one and come into this front post. Pull through 2 and hold it, and then pull through all 3. And that just have the 2 lines intersect with each other. So as lines begin, lines eventually come back and intersect once they follow it up long enough. So the next 2 in a row are regular double crochet. So I'm going to stay quiet for a bit and just follow the stitch work for what you see. You're really only having to pay attention to the valleys and the peaks because they're different on every row. Okay, here's the peak. So one's going to be in the regular double crochet, and then your peak is next. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then start crawling down the other side. So the first one has to be in a regular stitch, and then just follow it down. So the next one's a front post double crochet, and and then down the other, or double crochet in the next 2. So what I'm just doing is just following the lines, just reacting to them, and then just paying attention to the very end when we get there. So if you're going up and down, you just keep following this across. But just make sure you treat the middles like I showed you already. So I'm looking towards how many stitches are left at the end. So I have 1, 2. So I got this one by itself. Okay, so this is a front post. This here is the edge. So it's going to be a front post as a 2 together. So just don't finish that stitch, and then just use the side of the last stitch or the top of the last stitch for the final one. And so this line just officially ran out once it hits the edge, like that. Okay, and so you're just going to continue that, and I will be back in a moment. So turn your work. We'll do row number 7. Okay, row number 7, chain 2, and then react to what you're seeing. So this is a 2 together stitch, so this is just 1. So what is this appearing to you? Yeah, it's appearing as a front post double crochet for this one. So you keep that as a front post double crochet. So the chain 2 plus the first front post double crochet is considered 1 stitch. So that keeps the edges flat. So you can see it's towards you, so that keep this as a front post double crochet. And then the other ones that are sunken in, keep those as a back post double crochet. And everything is in sets of 2 now going up to the peak. Okay, front posts. And back post. Front post. And back post. So keep an eye on that peak. Okay, so this is the back post right here. So these have to be front post into each one of those because they're always in sets of 2. And then your peak happens to be next. So in the peak here, you're going to apply 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and just do the opposite to what you just did. Okay, so these 2 here, front post, keep those at the front post. Okay, and just climb down. So if it's in the back here, so keep that as a back post. So you don't have to excessively count. You just got to look for the lines. So we're looking for the middle one here. Okay, and the middle one is right there. So I still have another stitch to do. So this is the front post. So I have the next one, here's the middle, we're gonna skip, and then here's the next one. So this here, I wanna keep it as a front post 2 together using this post and this post. So wrapping it in, pull through 2 and hold it, skip the middle, wrap, and the next post, pull through 2 and hold it. And now you're gonna wrap and pull through all 3. And now we just climb up the other side. So just look, the next one has to be a front post. And then you can see the other one's sunken behind, so we keep that as a back post. Front post, and so on. And I'll just be quiet for a little bit longer. paying attention to the peak. So I know how to respond to it. So these two here, so I'm on the back post right now, so you got two left, so they have to be a front post each. And that's what we did on the last peak over here. And so you're going to come into the peak then, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and then come on down the opposite side. So it's what you see here, just opposite. So these got to be front post double crochet for 2 in a row, and keep going down the hill, back post. I'm just keeping an eye on the edging. How many stitches do we have left? We actually only have 2. So we have this one and then this one here. That's a 2 together. Okay, and so we look at it, and so we know that this has to be a front post. So we're going to do a front post, but not finish it, and then use the top of the last stitch, yarn over and in, pull through 2, and hold it, and pull through all 3. And that was row number 7. Okay, so this actually is going to start right here as a new line that will come up. We just don't officially see it yet, but it will happen. This is row number 8, and this is the final or the repeat, and you can go back to row number 3 and restart again after this is done. So you're going to start off by chaining 2, and then you were going to look at what the stitch work is. So the next one right here, see how it's sunken behind? Just do a double crochet there. So that is the 2 together stitch. So chain 2 plus that one equals 1 stitch. Now you're going to keep the lines going in front. So make those as a front post double crochet, and then just use the regular stitches in between. So there's 2 in a row. So everything is in pairs. Okay, front post, and then coming in. Double crochet the next 2 in a regular stitch. So if this was a waffle stitch going in rows without going up and down, there's actually technically only a repeating of 2 rows. But because it is chevron, it is a little bit more complicated because the lines are starting and ending, like because of the lines. So the next one, we got 2 in the back. So this one has to be a front post double crochet. And so this then picks up and starts a new V shape right here. So see how you got the distance between these things? That's kind of comes down and maintains the same distance. Use your peak, double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. Okay, so keep the first one as a front post double crochet to maintain with what you already did, and the next 2 are in behind. So double crochet regulars. So I'll stay quiet for a bit until I get closer to the valley and just follow the lines. So I'm looking to what happens in the base. So this one is here. And in row number 8, we got the middles that's going on. So I'm looking towards that valley to see what to do. So it's a front post double crochet around this one. And so now the next 3 are right here. Okay, and so we got the first one, the middle, and the next. So we're looking at what we need to do. So it's just going to be a back, it's just going to be a regular double crochet 2 together. So use the first one, skip the next one, which is the middle, and use the next one in the regular stitch. pull through all 3. And that keeps that space open. And now the next one is a front post double crochet. So it's going to be the next row where these lines intersect with each other, like you saw in the past. So let's continue on and just crochet regular when we need to, and then pull it forward with front post double crochet to keep the lines going. So we're looking to what we need to do for the peak, and it would be like what we did with the last one right here. So we got the 2 in a row that are in the regular stitch, so this one has to be a front post double crochet, and it's creating a new set of lines that will happen like I did before. Your peak is going to be the same as you know it, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then coming down for a front post double crochet, and then just keep following it. So you're just going to go up and down in the same motion. Just keep an eye on the valleys and the peaks. So the blanket can be finished at any row that you would like it to. So what I wanted to do is for myself is that I don't want to waste Bernat Blanket yarn because it is expensive, or it can be if it's not on sale. And so I just finished it when I ran out of yarn that I could not get all the way across. So I would recommend that. Okay, so looking towards the edge, I got 3 stitches left. I got 1, 2, and 3. So this is a front post. So I'm going to use the regular stitch and the side for a 2 together double crochet. And when I say side, I mean the edge. And so that would finish that. So what you're seeing here is the repeating rows of 3 through 8. So you'll do another 3 through 8, another 3 through 8. And so these lines just keep on working itself upward, and they eventually intersect, but then a new lines will then come out from here to create this illusion of what it appears to be the waffle stitch in the chevron. We hope you've enjoyed today. You can let me know how I did in the tutorial notes or the video comments, and we're going to see you another time. So just fasten off when you're ready to go. If you want to change colors, you can do so. I think this is a great color for those kind of yarns, like the the Bernat Blanket yarns, as well as variegated. Even Red Heart Biddy stripes would be amazing for this yarn as well. So I wanted to keep a solid color for tutorial purposes, but I would be very intrigued by the Biddy stripes in doing a blanket formation. I don't know how much yarn you'll need, but it is a cool idea, just in case you're thinking.